Sam Heughan admits regretting his time with Katrina, the truth behind Outlander. The Spotlight Celeb recording studio was filled with bright lights and an air of excitement. The host sat across from the guest, Sam Heughan, the beloved actor who plays Jamie Fraser, and the filming crew had been preparing for hours. Before the interview began, Sam seemed a little quiet, his eyes slightly sad as if he was about to reveal something big. When the lights went up and the cameras rolled, the host spoke. "Sam, you've shared a lot about Outlander, about Jamie Clare, about the filming process and your co-star Caitriona. But tonight we want to ask you something else. Have you ever felt regretful, especially about the time you worked with her?" The studio fell silent. Sam takes a deep breath, hesitates, and then slowly answers. "Yes, I had a moment where I regretted it. I know this will sound strange to many people, but I want to be honest. Back then, when we were doing season 5, which was a very big season of change, I let my ego get the best of me. And from there, a fictional story unfolds, drawing the audience into the little-known corners of the co-star relationship, where truth and falsehood are mixed, where emotions are tested, where regrets sprout. The days together." According to this fictional version, Sam says that during season 5, when the filming schedule became tense, he and Katrina fell into an invisible distance. Katrina, in the story, became more rigid in the way she worked. She suggested many changes to the script, from the way the character was portrayed to the smallest expressions. For Sam, this was a challenge. He was used to working in a traditional way, with a clear, controlled emotional scale. One night before filming a night scene, Sam called Katrina out to the backyard. "Kat, I want to understand. Why did you change this scene, make Jamie seem weak?" "I don't want Jamie to be strong and emotionless," she replied. "I want Claire to have dialogue, to be more emotional, to show her inner self." The conversation became tense. Sam felt that she was getting in the way of his view of Jamie, a view he had been trying to cultivate for seasons. Katrina felt he was being defensive. They argued, back and forth, in the yellow light from the studio windows. Neither won, but the quiet division began to seep into the next scenes. In subsequent shoots, Sam, in the fictionalized version, sometimes became evasive, keeping his distance when it came to emotional scenes. He wonders, "Have I put too much emphasis on Jamie and forgotten Claire, forgotten the person who stood before me?" Katrina, in this version, also has sleepless nights. She wonders if she's overreacting, if she's being too harsh on her longtime collaborator. But she's steadfast. She wants Claire to live, not just be a shadow of Jamie. The final scene of season 5, in the fictional narrative, is Jamie's arms around Claire in the rain. The camera pans slowly over each drop of water, each breath. But Sam remembers clearly, at that moment, he felt her pull back a little, her eyes sad, as if she were trying to hide something. When the lights went out, no one apologized, but regret began to creep into his heart, about his behavior, about his coldness, about letting his ego overwhelm the connection. Disputes and silences. After season 5, in this fictional story, the tension between Sam and Katrina was not openly expressed, but word of mouth among the crew many times, stories about changed scenes, about small conflicts in performance, about recording sessions where the two did not talk after filming. Sam said that one time he quietly left the makeup room, leaving the script unread, to walk into the trees behind the studio, where the night sky was misty. He asked himself, "Am I wasting this precious relationship? Is there a way to apologize?" In that silence, he wrote in his diary, "Kat, you always put Claire on the scale. And I, sometimes, cherish Jamie so much that I forget the person standing next to him. Can I let go of myself to play a role, to reconnect?" But he did not send the diary. He did not apologize directly. He just kept quiet, letting the regret simmer in his heart. Katrina, according to this fictional version, also spent nights rereading old scenes, reviewing the looks, the interactions, and asking herself, why didn't you say anything? Why is silence heavier than an argument? During a performance meeting, the director, in the story, asked the two to sit down and spend 10 minutes each talking about their characters' feelings. Sam tried to respond with a suppressed answer. Katrina also did not easily open up. In the end, the meeting ended without any progress. The atmosphere was somewhat heavy. Shocking statement. Back at the Spotlight Celeb interview, the audience was waiting for the ending. After Sam said that he had regretted, the MC asked, "So now, do you want to apologize? Do you think that the working relationship between you and Katrina has been affected in the long term?" Sam closed his eyes for a second, then opened them, his eyes sad. "I want to say sorry, not just to her, but to everyone, even those who have proven that I work the same. If there were times when I was silent when she wanted to be heard, if there were times when I let my ego dominate my emotions, I apologize. And I learned, in art, not only the forum is important, but how you treat your colleagues, how you listen, is even more important." Will it have a lasting impact? I don't know. There are cracks that only people in the profession can find. But if I have the chance, I want to reconnect, to start over. Even if it's not perfect, but at least it's sincere. The whole studio was silent. The MC gently nodded. "Thank you, Sam, for this honest truth. We will send this to Katrina, if she wants to listen." Viewers at home through the small screen felt the vibration, from an entertaining conversation suddenly turned into a sincere confession. On social media, it immediately spread. Sam Heughan hate. Did Katrina hear the apology? Will there be a reunion or not? And that night, the media revolved around this news like a bombshell. Entertainment magazines published, "Sam Heughan, I feel hate for Katrina Balfe." Fan blogs discussed, paparazzi team, fans hunted for news. Even though we know that it is a fictional story in this article, we can still feel the power of honest words. It is enough to quiet an entire room. Aftermath and a new dawn. In the fictionalized part that followed the interview, there was an imaginary scene. A few days later, Katrina posted on her personal page a line. "Thank you, Sam, for your honesty. I haven't heard it directly, but if the apology is sincere, I want to say, I always respect you, and I also have moments of regret. It's not easy to work in art. I hope we can find a way to talk in peace again." This status line shook the fan community. Many shared, "I don't know if it's true, but if it is, it's beautiful." Some entertainment news sites published the headline, "Katrina responds to Sam, a secret apology between two artists." In the following days, an analytical article appeared. If the two of them had a conversation, what would it have been like? In this story, Sam invited Katrina to a small cafe in Edinburgh for lunch. They sat across from each other, in the gentle sunlight. Sam silently hands her a printout of the season 5 script, with the part they argued about marked up, and a note, "I didn't listen to this scene." Katrina takes it, her eyes brimming with tears, and looks at him. "Thank you. I've never heard that apology before. We were partners. Maybe now is the time to start over, even slowly, with the smallest things." They talk lightly, not about roles, but about feelings, about being partners, about invisible scratches. Gradually, the distance caused by silence loosens, and finally, in this fictional version, they work together again, not with the same tension, but with new respect. Future scenes, if any, will have a gentler breath, with room for listening, for small interactions, for pauses to look at each other, not just the characters, but the two people behind the characters.